think it's fine now.
Yeah, it's now appropriate. So let's deep dive because we may not have so much time. You're already, my name is Louis DK, which you now know as Wilson's brother. So I'm the only crypto person in our family, so and blockchain. So I've actually been in the space officially since 2017. Sorry, unofficially since 2017, which is like 9 years, but officially working like since 2021. I was with Vibra as head of growth, and I was with BitGet, and I was with Bybit, and then currently I've been with startups, and then I'm building CoinAfrica. So the idea around CoinAfrica is actually to tell Africa's crypto blockchain Web3 story from the local perspective, founder narrative, local builders, regulatory landscape, and all of that. While working in BitGet and handling their PRs, I noticed that that was something we had as a gap in Africa. We didn't have like a major mainstream media platform like Cointelegraph or Coindesk here. We just have tech platforms like Parametrics, TechPoint, TechCabal, and the rest of them. So that's the idea. Yeah, so happy to tell your story today.
Which makes a whole lot of sense because we actually need our stories out there.
Yeah.
A lot of us are building things, amazing things, then, but because we don't really talk about it, the world doesn't know, investors doesn't come, nobody is asking you whether you are even growing or not. You're just on your own, struggling.
Yeah. Exactly. So that is how it is. So, but then we hope to grow and build together. So while we're telling these stories and amplifying them, we also should be symbiotic process of growth, right? So let's start with who is Nnamdi Uba.
Okay. Of course, you have known a little bit. At least you have a brother who came from a technology background. So I studied information technology in Futo. I have always wanted to do technology stuffs. You understand? I've always loved it from the onset. In fact, before I gained admission into university, I was already teaching computer science. I was already teaching computer before I gained admission. In fact, even in Futo then, I was looking for EE for technology angle. You understand? If I now need to maybe 400 level to choose a course, I wanted to go for technology side. But when we were doing pre-degree, I saw that we just launched the IMT in Futo then. So I was like, okay. I asked myself, because then in our pre-degree, we were about 2,000 students, and over 800 applied for EE. So I already saw that almost chances is already by how intelligent you're going to be. And I don't have no choice. I told myself, I think the best thing I can do is to change my course to IMT so I can be on the safer side, because IMT is a new department and they will be looking for people.
Yeah.
So they might not necessarily start looking for the brightest
person. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was actually how I gained admission. So I had to go for that. And I think I was the second person on the list, the top 2 on the list that made it to that IMT then. So that was how I joined into the university. So since then, I have always admired anything about technology and all that. In fact, immediately I still came out from the university during service, I told myself, this service, yes, we are going to teach, but we will need to find work. And I went on my own. I went to look for work. I got a job in MTN as a scopper. So that was where I started my IT stuffs and all that. So that was how I started growing in what I was doing. And while we were doing this thing, I met my cosmate, who is also a Footite. So he joined us in the company, and we were going. We started a company, a startup then in 2016, 2017, which is a cryptocurrency exchange. I think that was also the same time Luno entered Nigeria. So Luno was answering BTEX as of that time. So we launched our own crypto exchange too. We called it BitPayer. So we called
Okay.
it BitPayer. So we were actually doing well. We in 2017 during the ICO time, we had
Mhm.
one of our biggest hack in that crypto exchange. So we were so afraid, something like we were very afraid. But although we were able to, we managed the whole situation then, but we were afraid. So my guy went to buy land, and we found out that he paid for the land, and we found out that the land was scam. Like it was like another person actually owns that land. The seller just sell to him want to say the owner was not available. So until
Mhm.
he wanted to resell it, that was when the owner came out, and it became an issue. So that was when we asked ourselves, we can actually use blockchain to solve land issues.
It is. The reason why I started laughing is that most of the startups we have now, the person who started it entered experienced an issue.
Yes, exactly.
Let them
So,
start that particular one. So
so
it's
that
just like
was,
I don't know if you know of Franklin Peters, that's the CEO of Boundless Pay.
yes,
So
we were running the same Indian person that built our BitPayer built his own platform that time. So
exactly. So,
that was how I knew him. That was how I
uh,
knew, because it's the Indian people that gave me
that
his contact.
okay,
It's the
okay,
Indian people that gave me his contact. So I now found out that we were in Port Harcourt. So I now
oh
called him. That was how I knew him.
yeah,
But
because
those guys
him
frustrated us.
yeah, he was trying to do a crypto transaction that he got scammed. You know, you will send him money, they will send him Bitcoin, and he sent money at some point, and they never answered him. That was what led to him starting PitFXT, that later
Yes,
changed to Bound.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah, so it's just so funny how people literally experience a bad transaction that leads them. So, would you say that this is what convinced, like from your frustration to innovation, that this convinced you that land ownership was broken enough for you to start Sytemap
Exactly.
uh,
So
and other things that could have contributed? Let's hear
yes,
about it.
yes, it was actually then we started also hearing some government officials in outside Nigeria. You understand? We have them Georgia, I think Georgia, the country Georgia, and some other states. Everybody started building, started talking about the land registry on blockchain and all that. We were like, man, we can do this. We told
Mhm.
ourselves we can do this, and we entered into the game and started doing it. And that was
Okay.
how we started.
Mhm. Yeah. So now, why land still isn't digital? Like, despite decades of technological progress, land transactions across much of Africa are still plagued by fraud, poor records, lengthy verification process. Why has this problem been so difficult to solve? Well, let's look at it from the problem
Yeah,
perspective.
I think it's a rooted problem because of why we can, or we are still having issues in solving this problem is because I will use the way laws is structured in Nigeria, for example, because we're in Nigeria now. The Cedar Land Use Act that we have in this country is one of our challenges. You understand?
Mm.
Because one, this land use acts give all the whole power to the government.
The governor
Yes,
in
the
particular.
governor, you understand? In fact, the governor, not even the government, the governor.
Yeah, the governor himself is the
So the
landlord. So
governor is the owner of every land.
every land in
The
that
worst
state.
part of it is that the governor has the right to revoke the one he
Mm.
has already even given.
Given to you, yeah.
So you don't even own anyone.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
why the certificate is occupancy, not ownership.
exactly. And it's not even if that occupancy, you understand, is like if I have given you a 99 years, is solid, I cannot take it back, then it's even better. But now we have the 99 years, and you still have the right to take it from me anytime.
Anytime.
So that is even where it is actually more dangerous. Like, see what happened in Kano. the past government or the past governor worked with real estate company, set up an estate, issue CFO to all the owners of the buildings there. Everybody, the rich people, they build their duplex, everything, set up one fantastic estate there. Then this current government entered. The governor said, this land from the master plan of Kano, this land, this estate, supposed to be a marketplace. Therefore, I am revoking all the whole CFOs, and we are demolishing all the whole houses and going back to master plan to make this place a marketplace. So you see that it doesn't even work. Had it been like, okay, this thing is, if I have issued it, I have issued it, then it would have been easier. So people could, if government can sign, they have signed. But now, so what it means is that every 8 years or every 4 years, you are in trouble as a landowner. You get so you need to be afraid every time, whether you have CFO, because a new government can come and say, no, here it was meant. It's the same thing Wike was doing. Wike came immediately and was like, we want to use master plan, Abuja master plan. They start demolition and all that. So that is just one of the challenges. Our government policies doesn't help to solve this problem, because everybody the governors wants to have that power in their hands. I have gone to digitize a lot of government transactions. In fact, even the developer themselves, that we are trying to digitize, there is this power everybody wants to have, the power of allocation. Let me be the one to approve this allocation. I want to be the one to approve. So, but now we all want to make things easy, but we still want to. So there's no way. I keep wondering, how can we digitize these things and still put that power? Everybody just wants that power. In fact, I was speaking with one of the government companies I was working with. So I was showing them how the processes were working. The financial people when they saw that our system can actually confirm payment and say, okay, this plot has been sold. The financial person was like, if a system is doing this, then what is my work? She was like, that means I cannot do any other thing now. No work again for me. I said, no, your work shouldn't be confirming payment. Your work should be looking at checking transactions, how things are moving, and not like so you see that we just want to hold on something and keep saying we are working when we are not actually doing any work. So we just want to be romancing the simple things that can be automated. You understand? So that we can focus on the real work. But we want to hold on those small ones as the real work and leave the big ones then. So
big one. And that's very common with government-related kind of agencies.
Exactly.
So the small one they just hold on to it.
Exactly. So she was like, this is my work. I don't need to give it out. This I must be confirming payment. Imagine that made us to tweak our system for them. You understand? In such a way that hold on a moment, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I'm around. Please. Yeah, I'm around. Okay. Sorry about that. So that made us to tweak our system and made it like payment will come. They will now see that payment has come. They will go and confirm before they can now click a button to say that they have received it.
Okay, that's bring other people into the system and all of that. So, but let's look beyond the blockchain buzz. Many people associate blockchain with cryptocurrencies, but now you're applying it to land ownership. So in simple terms, how does blockchain actually improve trust, transparency, and security in property transactions?
Okay, one of the things that several things we actually implemented on the blockchain. One is we having our own ledger. You understand? We
Okay.
have our own explorer where you can see the land transactions in real time. So that's one thing blockchain is doing for us. So we could easily transparently show how land transactions are happening in real time. Then another one is proof of allocation. So when someone finish making payment and all the payment are acknowledged, proof of
Mhm.
allocation can also, now the real estate companies we are working with, they call it, some call it letter of allocation, some call it certificate of allocation, you understand, and all that. So that certificate of allocation, we bring it on blockchain as NFT. So
Okay.
you can actually, when the moment you finish making payment, our system mints NFT regarding to that property as proof of ownership or to a proof of we don't want to use proof of ownership because government doesn't also use proof of ownership.
Yeah. We can call it proof of occupancy.
Exactly. To avoid issue. Even we can't even call proof of occupancy because we
Yeah.
are
Well,
issuing C of O. You understand?
exactly. Okay. So
Exactly. So,
allocation.
exactly. So we use allocation. So we allocate the land, the plot to you. Then we help you go and register, start the registration with the government. So usually we don't go to the length of getting C of O. We just do the smaller ones that we can do, which is register survey or register deed. So if we
Mm.
do that one, you can follow up. Oh, that one is also a strong title. So we help you do those ones so that your land is also registered on the government registry. Yeah, so that's pretty what we are doing. So you don't necessarily have to do the C of O, but once you register the survey or you register the deed, you're good to go.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So now let's look at tokenizing African real estate. So real world asset tokenization is becoming a very big narrative, even in global finance. How realistic is it that ordinary Africans could one day buy fractional ownership in real estate through blockchain? Now, looking at the REITs version on the blockchain.
Yes, so we have been doing that in Nigeria and other African countries unknowingly. You understand? And that is actually what we are bringing on the blockchain. We don't want to do the traditional $10, $50 thing. You understand? It's not for us for now because we need to first eat before we can give someone $10 to put on the property. You understand? So in Nigeria here, what we have understood is we want that ownership. You understand?
Okay.
I want to say I have that plot myself in my name. You get.
Mm-hmm.
So now instead of doing a tokenization of bringing one single plot and say 20 people come and own one single plot, why not do that's actually what the developers has been doing. They will go buy 100 hectares of land, call it estate, divide it into plots. It's tokenization.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So that is now what we are bringing on the blockchain. So instead of doing the small one, we still go what the market wants. You understand? We go get big expanse of land, pieces it into buildable plots. You understand?
Mm.
Buildable plots and then sell it. That is now what is now NFTs. You get,
Oh,
you
okay.
get the point. So we can now you have it on a blockchain. You also have it
It's
physically.
in real life. Yeah.
So
So
you don't
that's
have to, it's not just only having the blockchain one, but you have it on the ground too. So you can
actually.
also bid on it or you can resell it. So that is where the value is for us in Africa. We just want to own what we can. Because when I started in 2019, 2018, 2019, when we were doing 1 square meter, so people keep asking, can I build on 1 square meter? I said, once we cannot, though. You know, so you cannot build on 1 square meter. You understand that kind of thing. So, but
Mm-hmm.
now even now, so what we now do for us to have a market of our own, because everywhere is estate, everybody is selling, so you need to find a way to differentiate yourself.
Yeah.
We have to find our own niche, which is women. we found out, okay, women market, nobody is actually selling to women directly. You understand? And statistically, the number of women who own properties in Africa is less than 10%.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to go that market. So with the women now, we don't have to do the one full plot. One full plot, a standard plot in Nigeria is between 400 square meter to 500 square meters, 600 square meters, case maybe. So now we have, so now we could do it half plots and give it to the women. So because even half plot can still enter a house. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing it that way. Start tokenizing this thing in a smaller portions that women can own and also go to see their land physically. That is actually what we are doing in terms of land tokenization. That's what we are doing in terms of saying we're bringing African land to the blockchain.
The
Because
blockchain.
if we go towards the land registry model, which is what we started initially around 2020, it couldn't work because of the government bureaucracies, trying to get government to be involved in it is not a day job. It's crazy. So the best is to leverage what is in existing and then still do the exact thing that we're supposed to do.
Yeah, so I like that you've highlighted the government, because that's what I was actually delving into, government as a partner. So how important is this collaboration with government and regulators to making blockchain powered land registry successful across Africa?
It's difficult, you understand, it's difficult, though we have done several partnerships, you understand. Cassie, sorry, Cassie, go downstairs and collect something from me. So government, we have been able to try working with government. It has not been easy, but when we left the government side in 2020 and decided to do the private side, the goal is to build proof of stand. So when you go and meet government and you are still saying we want to, no proof, is not also easy for you to get the job.
You
understand?
of what?
So what we now do, proof of work.
Okay.
Proof of work. Like, yeah, we need to show that we have built this land registry somewhere else, or we are professional enough, you understand, to do that. So, but last year we were able to, because we have done crazy volume of transactions. We have worked with over 200 something real estate companies, and we decided to go back to the government to seek for the partnership, showing what we have done and what we can do for the government. So that way we're able to get partnership with Anambra State Housing Development. We also have partnership with Lagos State Government. We have with Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. And December last year, we signed an agreement with the body, that's Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria. The goal now is to bring all their projects on one platform so that all the developers' projects can be seen on one platform. So as we are working with government, we're also doing it with the private, because anyone that is easier and faster will move with it. But we've been able to get some, like now in Anambra State, we're digitizing all the whole estate owned by Anambra State Housing. Making sure that there is no duplicate allocation, no double selection of plots and all that, because that's one of their challenges. Our system is helping them to handle that. In the Lagos State, we are digitizing property verification for them too. You understand? So all these things are what we are doing while we are building the infrastructure that is to power all these things. Yeah.
Awesome, amazing. Now, let's look at what is currently trending: AI, GIS, property technology. Now that we're entering this era of AI, geospatial mapping, and blockchain are converging, how do you see these technologies working together to reshape Africa's property market over the next 10 years?
So what we are seeing now, like from our side, what we are building right now is we have already done some of the AI parts. The AI stuff we have done is our payment, like what I told you initially, auto confirmation, everything. Once you make payment, everything confirmed, record on the blockchain, and generate your certificate of allocation. We have automated all those angles through AI. And another thing we're also doing right now is using AI to digitize the landmarks. We have not been able to achieve that. We're still doing that manually right now but we want a situation whereby when we have a layout of a particular province or estate, if we just upload, AI can pick all the whole mappings and put it on the Google Earth for us automatically. But we have not been able to achieve that. But as is the work in progress. We keep figuring it out and keep growing on that angle. So what we are seeing in all the things we are doing right now is we want a situation whereby someone can just be on anywhere they are in the world. No plot has already been owned by someone. No plots that are available for sale. You understand? Because that's what is actually the challenge. That in every fraud that is happening, you don't know who owns, and you don't know who owns. You don't know if it's available for sale, and someone will pick it and sell to you, and it becomes a scam. Exactly. So, but we're achieving it in our small properties that we are doing right now because we are the one controlling those ones. So we are achieving it in our system. You can see plots that are available and plot that is not available because those ecosystems, we are building it ourselves. But we are looking at like the whole Lagos, you can see it. The whole Abuja, you can see it. So that's where we are going, but it's a gradual process. I think that's what AI can actually help us to achieve instantly.
Yes, so the AI, I think, will do a lot on that. It's a thing I was watching. I see now AI can help in terms of this whole geo mapping and all of that. So, but building for Africa now and not copying the world. A lot of startups here borrow ideas from like Silicon Valley. So what aspects of Sytemap had to be designed specifically for African realities rather than adapting to existing global models?
Yes, that's why we didn't want to do fractional ownership of $10.
Okay.
You understand? Because it might not work. Because a lot of people will be like, "How can I own a land with $10?" It doesn't work. I know those kind of okay. Or how can I own a house with $10? I know those kind of things. It doesn't really work. But people tokenize the real plots people can buy and they can build on it. Then that's what Africa is looking for.
So more or less, like Africans, just like you said, are used to, they want to own.
Exactly.
Just like even the way we finance housing here compared to abroad. We buy at once compared to that they pay over 20 years and all of that.
And again, why it's like that too is because we don't like to own. We don't like to owe. Rather, we don't like to owe someone. You understand? Because me too, I don't want a situation whereby someone will be reminding me every Monday, every month end, I need to make this payment and all that. We are not built that way. We are built to clear this debt and it goes off from your way. Exactly. So
and that's why we are not so exposed to credit facilities that people in other parts of the world enjoy with their banking systems and all of that.
Exactly. Okay. Because as a business, we need those loans to work. But imagine as a business too, you don't want to owe anybody as a businessman. So imagine now in your own house or your own car, you buy everything without owing anyone. Nobody's financing you. Even in South Africa, they finance 12 months payment for cars. They finance all those things. But we cannot, because even at that, the financing interest is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. For example, now, if you go to open and click loan, you are seeing almost 100% in 12 months. So if you are taking 500, that means you pay 500, but you're paying them 1 million. You understand? In the 1 year. So the interests are very high. So if I look at all those things, I'll just tell let me go and save. I'll get there and I'll do what I want to do. It's delaying us, but we are wired that way. So we prefer to pay gradually without any interest than taking a mortgage. Even me, there was a time bank called me, I qualified for a house mortgage, But when you look at the calculation for 5 years, you see you're paying double. So why
Yeah,
not save money and buy the actual price for today?
yeah.
Paying than living in the house, then pay 5 years and I pay double. If you now decide to do 20 years, that means you are just bank will just be like this and you are generating money for them.
You're just generating money for them, yeah, exactly. You're the one paying the bank now.
Yes.
So let's look at the biggest misconception. When people hear blockchain for land, what's this biggest misconception they have? And what do you wish more people understand about the technology? Blockchain
Okay.
for land.
So when the people hear blockchain for land, I think one of the things is they keep asking us, do you have token? Do you have this and or do you have token and all that, which we do not have. And so it's just not that we added a token, but the token is more of an incentive for our community. So if you buy land, we use it to incentivize people who are paying installments. So once you finish making any installment you pay earns you a token. Any installment you pay earns you a token until you finish your installment. Then that token you can cash it back through vouchers. We work with Spar, Market Square, and the rest. So we convert those tokens to real vouchers that you can go to those markets and buy anything that you want.
Okay.
So that's what we are using token to do, but not just owning a token that can generate transaction or can be traded. So we didn't want to go to those angles. We just wanted to have an NFT that is representing a land. So, and that is what we are showing people. So what we are showing people is your land is on blockchain. You could track it from anywhere in the world, either on blockchain or using our satellite imagery. You can track your plot of land from anywhere you are. And with our Explorer, our own Explorer, you could track your payment and other people's payment and see how transactions are coming. So we're using blockchain to build more transparency of our business, you understand, to the rest of the world so that they can see that, okay, things are actually happening here in real time.
Yeah, awesome, fantastic. Now, if you could rewrite Africa's property system, if you had the opportunity to redesign Africa's land administration system from scratch, what would you change first and why?
I think I'm going to automate transactions first. You understand? Because if we like now, see US now, for example, once there is a payment, it goes to the registry. Let's say from Zillow, it goes to the registry directly. Nobody is disturbing them. First of all, in Nigeria, if I use Nigeria, first we need to have an amendment on that Land Use Act, first of all. So when we have that amendment, so that we can remove some power from the governors and then make some power to be automatable, so that alone can build a full base transaction system. In Dubai, if I buy land now, I go to Dubai, I'll see it on their own Explorer. Plots, so property sold 5 minutes ago. The same thing in Rwanda. If you buy land in Rwanda now and pay, 2 seconds, you are receiving text message that is registered on the blockchain, is registered on the land registry. So these are not magicians. There is no magicians. They are not magic. You understand? It can be done, but because of how our system works here, where we want to make sure that everything passes through us, we are holding it on our hand before we see it. We don't want anybody to scam or anybody to use us chop. You understand? So that's why if I can, a lot of people are still scared of technology in Nigeria as of now. People are still afraid of using technology. We feel technology can spoil a lot of things. I could remember those days I was working in MTN. My boss then, he can never use his ATM card or anywhere to make payment. Even till now, people are still afraid of that. So those things are some of the challenges, because we live in a world where everybody can use, or how do I put it? Anybody can, because you give them access, can use it against you or anything. So everybody is being careful about anything. But I feel if we can automate transactions, that means I can stay wherever I am in the world, see any plot that I like, see the owner details. I can easily make call. You are selling, yes, this is the price, yes, I wire payment. That system process that payment, send the money to the seller, and record on the blockchain. Then you the document. Chicken, you don't finish.
That would actually,
And all these things now carries charges too. Government can make crazy money from this thing, because as that transaction passes, government is charging both sides. It's charging the buyer, it's charging the seller. If there is agent involved in that, agent is also collecting. Everybody, government can also charge the agent for even the government can make crazy money from all the transactions passing through the same system. But I don't think they are seeing the kind of money they are leaving on the table. So if they are actually seeing it, they will do something and start making that money on the table.
Or maybe they are not aware. Maybe people like you need to inform them.
Well, yeah. we'll keep advocating, you understand, for such to happen, because if that happens, it's going to take Nigerian GDP to almost 3 trillion naira, because a lot of people want to buy. From what I've seen, a lot of people has money to buy property in Nigeria, lands and all that, but they don't want to do it. You understand? They don't want to deal with. They keep giving it till when. We have a lot of 80% of people who are buying property in Nigeria, from our research as a company, we published it last year. 80% of people buying land in Nigeria are people who how do I put it? Who have already said, if I perish, I perish. They bought and it worked. They don't know, they have already built that strong mind. So 80% of people buying land in Nigeria are people who has bought before, not a first-time buyer.
First-time buyer, okay.
You understand? First-time buyers are still afraid. A lot of first-time buyers have not.
Plus, looking at things that happen in the news around demolitions for people that built before and all of that. Another big challenge is the fact that it is, the ownership is divided across 36 states in Nigeria. So achieving such kind of technology advancement may mean for you to now come into the arrangement with each of those states, or each of those governments have to agree that they want to make transactions automated. I'm not sure it's something that can even happen at the federal level.
It's not even the 18, it's not even the 36 states. You can say the 774 local governments has their own different records. Everybody has their own different records.
Okay.
But the only thing is that if you finish on the local government, you need to go to the state to register. You understand? It's only the state that offers CFO. You get so, but mostly every local government has their own land records, kind of. That's why they have the customary CFO.
Okay. All right. So let's look ahead to 2035, which is almost a decade from now. What does success look like, not just for Sytemap, but for Africa's property market? What would make you feel your mission has been truly accomplished?
Okay. Before I say this, there was a time I made a post in Facebook, and a lot of real estate companies came and attacked me, kind of. So what I said was, I said, this estate, most of them are selling. In the next 5 years, all the people that bought these estates, we lose it. So everybody came for me then. But what I was seeing was, majority of people who has bought lands, from our research too last year, from the report we published, 75% of people who has bought lands who have bought land from most of these developers do not know where that land is. They just bought because of marketing and all that. So everybody just pay. They give you deed of assignment and you lock up. You don't know. If that company closed tomorrow, shut down, stop functioning, you might not know where that land is. You understand? That's one. Two is, we are trying to also solve the problem of what is happening right now and what happened in, let's say, 2010, 1990s, where we see on fences, on billboards. This house is not for sale. Beware of 419. You understand? So if we do not digitize tomorrow's land now, in the next 10 years, what is happening now will still happen. You understand? So that is why we are working hard as a company to see that people who buy land today can easily have a platform where they can easily track their land, monitor their land from anywhere they are in the world, and at the same time being able to know how the lands are developing from wherever they are, even though they have not been there. You understand? So we are seeing the world where people can stay wherever they are in the world to choose a plot, pay for their plot, get allocated. We have them registered in the government side, and they don't have to even see the land. So the only day they want to see the land, our application gives them the direction, they drive to their land without any problem. That's
Okay.
what we're working towards.
Fantastic. I believe that's a very solid way to go for that real estate industry. I see you are backed by 400,000 in funding as a company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the biggest challenge in convincing investors that property infrastructure is one of blockchain's most important reward use cases? I want to believe that
one of the most difficult things I've ever done. So
okay.
the thing is, I think one of the things that helped us was the blockchain aspect and also the social impact aspect. You understand that we positioned. So we positioned as a social impact, trying to solve a few SDG goals like SDG goal 16, which is justice, removing justice before it will happen. So the justice here is land fraud. So we are trying to remove going to court to plead for land fraud before it will happen. So that's one of the biggest, strongest SDG goal that we are solving. Then sustainable communities, building sustainable communities and smart cities is also another one. Then partnership with other people, which is the 17th SDG. So that actually has helped us. And because we understand the market where we are, I don't need to go to a fintech investor to pitch. You understand?
No.
Exactly, because I know it might not really understand what I'm saying and all that. So I have to go to where the people I'm talking to understands me clearly, which is either on the blockchain. They know what I'm trying to solve with blockchain on the with blockchain on land. So if you look at the people that gave us money, they are either crypto investors or Nigerian investors who knows that this problem is existing and they want to solve it. Exactly.
Yeah, just like the Future Africa ARM.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so outside real estate, which sector do you believe blockchain will disrupt next in Africa? Maybe another reward asset.
Okay, I think reward asset is actually a way to go in Africa. I see if I'm not doing real estate right now, I think I will do reward assets in cars.
In cars.
Yes.
Yeah, typically move on. Before you know that, you tokenize spare parts.
Seriously, I'll do reward assets. I'll bring 10 people to own boxes. Understand? Tokenize this boss, allow 10 people to own it. This boss generate income to them. In fact, there's a new project we launched in real estate. Where we tokenize our estates for our women. Then we now use agriculture to put it as a reward. So you own the land. There are farmers on the land, and you benefit from the farm produce. You understand? So I can do same with cars. Put in so many cars on the market, allow people to own these cars, and this car generate revenue for all the owners. And we take the revenue, some part of the revenue as servicing and our own returns as a company. So reward assets, I'll go for tokenizing cars because it's going to work. We still have transportation problem in Africa.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. So I think we've actually covered the most of the interview. What we just have now is a quick fire round, and we just have 6 minutes left. So let's finish with this lighter note. One African founder everyone should know.
One African founder, is he on the
Everyone.
blockchain or anywhere?
Let's walk in the okay. Let's say generally, and then let's pick one in our industry.
Okay. I think one of the founders I really admire so much. They must have come across me, but we were not that close anyway. But we have done things together, and that was actually how I started liking them. And I think one of the person that brought me together with them is that's one of my guys, though he's late now. You might know about him, the co-founder of Bomba that died in accident in Lagos. Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine. And so the people I need to call is his co-founder now. That's I keep forgetting his name.
Bomba.
Yeah, co-founder, the real co-founder and CEO right now that is running it now. So I admire that guy so much. Yes, exactly. I admire him so much. We have spoken several times, but we have not seen each other before. I know him through his co-founder, who is my very, very good friend. I admire both of them because we started this journey the same time, almost that 2017, 20. In fact, how I was able to know the guy was when they came to do some work for us in our office in Port Harcourt. The guy came from Lagos to work for us. That was in 2013 self, you understand? So we have actually known for a very long time. And then he was also building applications. That was when Bomba was, they were calling it Sales Kaba before they changed the name to. I admire them so much because of how they work. Sometimes I'll ask myself, I wish I can do more like them, you understand? Then another. So, but he's late now. May God bless his soul. So, I think another set of people that actually brought me into startup ecosystem is the Shola of Paystack. In fact, it's actually Paystack that brought me into startup ecosystem. No other. I've been in the 9 to 5 things, but I see what those guys did with Paystack, and it was very interesting. I was like, since they can do this, I can also be able to do this. And that was actually how I entered into startup ecosystem. Nothing else. It was just through them that brought me into this startup ecosystem. And up till now, I still follow Shola. He doesn't know me, but I admire him so much.
Awesome. I think for me, I admire this guy Olujibi of Flutterwave.
Okay, Flutterwave, yeah. Then E also was also an inspiration too. You understand? So when he left, I didn't know him too well when he was in Andela until he left for Flutterwave. So I was like, what these guys then that are building two different big startups like, you understand? So so I was wishing that one day I'm going to meet E, and God actually answered that prayer. So I was able to. I met him in South Africa. I told him what we were doing and all that. So he loved what we were doing, but then we are still trying to work with states. He even told us then that state is going to be difficult. Find private companies and start with first. You understand? So we later took that advice, changed our business model from state to private sectors, and we called him and said, CEO, we have changed you, we have gotten first customer, we have gotten second customer. The next day, the next time he said, "Oh, I'm writing check for you guys," and that was it. So that's the thing. So I pray I meet these guys I mentioned. I pray maybe in the future time I'm also going to maybe meet them one-on-one or something like that. But I've not met him for like any time, and Uche too, I've not.
Okay. All right. So the next fire round: Bitcoin or Ethereum?
It has always been Bitcoin. I still have a Ethereum that I lost in this thing. What is it called? Blockchain.com.
No. Oh,
The
okay.
12 this thing. What is it called? The 12 phrases. I lost it. I have 11 Ethereum there.
Wow, 11. Wow.
So, but I will always go for Bitcoin.
For Bitcoin. Okay. One African country to watch PropTech, to watch out for PropTech innovation.
It's always Kenya. Kenya. Kenya followed by Ghana. Why I said Kenya is we're expanding to Kenya very soon in the next 3 months.
Oh, fantastic. Awesome. Okay. So tokenization or AI, which will have the bigger impact by 2035?
AI has already taken over. So what we can say is tokenization is still going on. Why it's delaying is it requires transaction and ownership. So a lot of people are still trying to understand how that can work. But AI came into solving our problem. In fact, launching AI using the generic model made it easier for everybody to enter into AI. So for now, I go with AI before tokenization.
Okay. All right. No problem. So we'll come to the end anyway. It's been a very interactive and interesting session. Thank you so much for this session. I'll definitely share the updates. In the meantime, maybe let's keep in touch. Maybe I can get your WhatsApp.
Okay, no problem. Wait, let me just type it. No.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Send to the chat. Okay. Seen it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. And
thanks so much.
see Sytemap to the moon.
Exactly. Sytemap to the moon. We are going there.
Yeah. Start verifying land in Mercury.
So
this Elon Musk going there. We need to start verifying land.
Yeah, we need to even go there and start recording the landmarks.
Recording it exactly.
Record it and then wait for Elon Musk to come. So that as we start coming, we are the ones to be issuing out land deeds to the landowners in the moon.
Yeah. All right, no problem. Thanks a lot. And congratulations again on your daughter's graduation tomorrow.
Thank you so much. See her here. She's here looking at me.
Okay. That's
Come
good.
on, say hi. Come on, say hi.
Hi. Good afternoon. Congratulations in advance.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. Yeah. So bye.
Okay, bye. Bye, bro.
Yeah, bye, man.